Things happen because of cause and effect, of often complicated processes, but not because of an invisible man pulling levers behind a curtain.
Morality would be, how do I define good and evil? How do I define good and evil? That's morality.
While I would argue that morality is not a necessary aspect of one's worldview, I do happen to have what I think is a fairly objective moral standard to determine that. And I've never heard a Christian define what morality even is, much less how we should know what is or is not moral. They say they have an objective moral standard, but it always turns out to be the subjective opinion of whoever is pretending to speak for or interpret their God's subjective opinion.
And destiny is what happens to me after death.
When you or I die, our thoughts and memories, our dreams and interests, our talents and aptitudes, everything that was once us, will be reduced to a few dozen pounds of ape meat going bad. The only advantage you have over me is that when your brain shuts off forever, just like when you go under general anesthesia for surgery, your consciousness will blink out of existence permanently before you even have the opportunity to be disappointed. But that's how it should be. I've never heard any description of a posthumous eternity, even in heaven, that didn't sound like an insufferable damnation with no hope of escape. And some Christians say, well, no, we'll be happy all the time, and we wouldn't have desires or ambitions anymore, because you wouldn't be you anymore. So there's no point in going on. If all that was really real, which it thankfully isn't, then in your first gazillion years, you'd already be pleading for some way to just let it end. And Christians talk an awful lot about hell, but they don't discuss heaven very much, because it doesn't take very long to realize that your impossible promise of a posthumous paradise is just another Hotel California. Thanks, but no thanks. Frankly, I'd rather just die and stay dead completely. And I even said so in a prayer when I still believed in God at 12 years old.